My name is Farinella and I'm a Dublin-based stylist and creative consultant. Advocating for Irish fashion is at the heart of my work, and over the last 15 years I've been involved in creating a number of diverse platforms to showcase and support the incredible talent that we have here in Ireland. So my presentation today is looking at promoting the strength and heritage of the Donegal fashion and textile sector. I hope that my perspective as an industry professional with a genuine passion for progressing and showcasing the strengths of Irish creative talent might inspire you to be outward looking in your viewpoint, collaborative in your approach, and have real ambition for internationalising the Donegal fashion and textile sector. And I would love if you have any questions, if you want to talk about them at the end. So I'm going to contextualise the talk by looking at the common ground for Donegal fashion and textile business, setting the scene for bringing people together while also celebrating unique identities. I'm going to create an overview of the current global fashion industry climate and how Donegal can find positive areas for growth and opportunity, even during this crazy, challenging time of uncertainty of economic and social change. On a personal level, I think that we can all agree this is time for community. People are acting together to protect each other. And this mindset is equally applicable to the promotion of the rich and important heritage of textiles in Donegal. I've been asked to discuss in relation to the fashion and textile sector, but fashion design and textiles are developing at a different pace in Donegal. Textiles are the foundation of the industry, while fashion design is a more modern component. Their relationship is symbiotic. It's inextricably woven together in history and technology, but in the context of Donegal, there is so much potential to elevate fashion design as a medium to support and promote the textiles industry as well. There is already, as there has been consistently for many years, amazing engagement with Donegal textiles from high-profile Irish and international designers. I think it's key to look at how this exciting activity could be leveraged to establish enhanced positioning for Donegal as a territory. Okay, sorry. And then my presentation is not moving, sorry. Oh, there we go. So, Donegal is an unrivaled area of beauty. It's rich in heritage, craftsmanship and creativity. Nature and industry are uniquely intertwined, and community and commerce go hand in hand. Researching this piece and the fascinating histories of the Donegal textile industry, the resounding notes from me were the common themes and motivations at the heart of so many businesses with incredibly unique stories, products and perspectives. While each of the weavers finds inspiration in the colours of the Donegal landscape, their interpretation is as individual and personal as an artistic expression. So while acknowledging the uniqueness of each fabric, we can also appreciate the common ground found in this love of the land. So, in order to promote a local or Indigenous industry, it is shared commonalities which we need to capitalise on. When we talk about Irish creatives working in fashion, we observe an international community who are connected by their engagement with Irish culture, society and craft. A designer who has been a beacon for this movement is Simone Rocha, reinvigorating Irish fashion and reinterpreting our culture for a contemporary and international audience. So Donegal is united by respect for tradition, a desire for progress, sustainable production, advocating for eco-conscious consumerism, family and legacy, luxury, craftsmanship, quality, passion. A knowledge that Indigenous craft is both invigorated and protected through engagement with contemporary design. It's the success of Donegal fashion and textile business in maintaining these core values through challenging years of change and restructuring of various business models. But it is this success which now needs to be celebrated as it is creative, positive positioning in the context of the current global climate. It's been an unprecedented time of change for the global fashion industry, with many trends and targets accelerated as the world is impacted by the coronavirus. The resounding industry message has been that this is the time to rethink and revise fashion. multiple high-profile industry manifestos called for fashion to rebuild itself in tune with the seasons, producing less and less often. Everything with the view to creating a more sustainable industry and a better future backed by creativity and design. Well, these are the conversations at the tables of New York, London, Paris, and Milan. They reveal a future industry landscape which is perfectly in tune with the Donegal culture of slow fashion. So sustainability was a key discourse dominating fashion pre-pandemic, with a multitude of urgent issues around climate change. But from all the damage suffered in recent months, there's an impetus now to make our society better. People are asking for locally made products. They want to support local community. Slow down, waste less, and care for our communities has been a defining message. This is exemplified through the practice of independent designers globally as they pivot to reuse and recycle. Another defining message of today is the discourse around authentic communication. Today's audience is drawn to openness, transparency, and honesty. Established brands are cultivating dialogue with their audience, offering guidance and aspiring to be inspirational. For the spring 2021 collections, which we've just seen, models are replaced by friends and family. Glamorous locations are exchanged for the city streets, for home environments, and indeed work from home spaces. So, Donegal brands have unparalleled content for storytelling around sustainability and community, which many are already communicating as the entry point to their business, both in digital and physical spaces. What could be considered now, however, is a structure to unite these narratives, a platform to position Donegal as a unique territory of interest in the current global climate for natural fabrics and open communication. Getting on too fast. So the current climate, there's also renewed appreciation of textiles. So an industry professional I have looked to during this time of change is the globally renowned trend forecaster Lee Edelcourt. Since publishing her anti-fashion manifesto in 2015, she's been heralding an era of shifting priorities and changes in the consumption of fashion. In the context of today, she contends that true artisans definitely have a future. In her words, I strongly believe there is an enormous future for beautifully made handicraft products with a real identity. We will need the love which is in this merchandise because we cannot cope with the senselessness of fashion. A new desire for tactile fabrics is envisioned to replace the loss of human touch we have experienced. Irish heritage fabrics are therefore positioned to resonate in a new way with consumers globally. We will want to cocoon ourselves in our clothes and feel protected by them. We will want to connect with their stories and their values. This renewed appreciation of textiles and fashion is mirrored in the art world. By looking at this relationship between fashion and art, we can see the role of an outward-looking perspective and a collaborative approach in promoting a sector and creating international appeal. So there was a project last year which brought together the renowned, amazing international artist, Andrea Zettel, she's American, the Tweed Project designers in Galway, and Malloy & Sons in Donegal as part of the Palimpsest exhibition at Lismore Castle. So this example of cross-disciplinary collaboration with international resonance should be amplified to create focus on the shared tradition of hand weaving, which was the element which brought these unique individuals together from all over the world, or from different corners of the world. But perhaps for me, coming from a non-fashion background, I really believe in a cross-disciplinary approach. And while I'm bringing art into the narrative here, we could do the same with music, with dance, literature, theatre, probably even gaming, which I believe has a very big presence in Donegal. If you had the right insight, which I don't because I'm not very technical, but there are always connections to be made in other areas of creativity or in other design disciplines. So as in fashion and the art world, we can see a renewed appreciation of textiles. Patchwork quilts are experiencing a renaissance. The catalogue accompanying an exhibition at the Whitney Museum of American Art in New York notes that each quilt maker has their own individual style, colour, pattern, and spirituality. Intricate patterns are often passed down through generations. A creative process similar, I think, to that of weaving. So we can also note this renewed engagement with we can also note internationally a renewed engagement with textile legends like Annie Albers, who last year had a massive retrospective at the Tate London called The Fabric of Belief. And there's also the innovative and bold Sheila Hicks, who's now in her 90s, but who works with colourful and sculptural woven yarns as her medium. So here we can imagine the potential for the promotion of Donegal textiles through cross-disciplinary engagement. By introducing artists from diverse creative disciplines to the beauty and heritage of Donegal textiles, new relationships could be developed to engage new channels of communication. So a clear objective of the Donegal LEO, which I saw from the reports from the big action plan that they took, is to support the Indigenous industry in creating ways to internationalise the creative sector. To do this, the first step needs to be outward looking at international examples and perhaps similarly outside of a perceived comfort zone. So while considering art as an example of a way to promote the existing industry, while this may not have immediate ramifications, this type of open, collaborative and cross-disciplinary approach will ultimately progress and expand upon the existing narrative. Heritage can bring people together to celebrate their shared values and interests. So the importance of mentoring, of knowledge sharing and knowledge exchange. So looking again outside of Ireland, there are diverse country initiatives which we can look to as models for the promotion of heritage textiles and fashion industries. I'm going to introduce three here today: the Nordic Fashion Association, the Chanel Métier d'Art Competition, and the International Woolmark Prize. So the Nordic Fashion. Climate, landscape, farming and craftsmanship and heritage are just some of the connections linking Donegal with Nordic countries like Iceland. The Nordic Fashion Association is a coming together of 4 countries to create a globally renowned, socially responsible business model to position itself competitively in an international market. The core purpose driving the initiative was to bring isolated territories together, realizing the benefits of pooled resources and accumulated experiences. Expanding on their directive around sustainability, they aspire to implement collaborative export initiatives, which things that you're already doing, joint international position and creation of new business models. Local fashion councils come together to create a stronger collaborative platform. So one designer observes that where once Icelandic designers seem to keep some distance between themselves, this has been changing in recent years with a lot of collaborations forged around the common ground of sustainability and embodied in projects such as collaborative stores stocking local talent. So while it may not be the time to think about creating physical cooperative spaces, it could definitely be the time to think about doing this digitally. The designer also comments how the increasingly tighter-knit design community has been propelled by the power of the internet or social media and strengthened by the resulting international exposure. Collaboration is a key tool for amplifying any message in the digital age. So competition is a great way to invigorate, inspire and push boundaries. It can successfully engage the support mechanisms of bigger companies to assist in the growth and development of startups or emerging or emerging talent. Ireland is lacking in any national fashion and textiles competition, but therefore there's also potential to develop an exciting platform here. The Chanel Métier d'Art Prize was launched in 2019 as part of the Hayère Festival, which is a long-standing celebration of fashion and photography in the south of France. The objective of the Heritage Fashion House was to support young talent by connecting them with the expertise and the craftsmanship of the 10 specialist artisanal workshops now owned by the Chanel House. These artisanal workshops, they include everything from lace making to jewelry making, milliners, shoemakers, all of very specialized artisans who basically work in couture and therefore work with Chanel and the couture collections, and Chanel protects them by essentially buying them up. But anyway, here this particular point is about supporting these artisanal craftspeople. So adopting this framework, Donegal could open up tweed, wool and linen business to collaborate with emerging talent on a united competitive platform. I know there have been many collaborative design initiatives taken by individual brands or perhaps through coordinated platforms, but it's this link of support celebrating heritage in the hands of the future that has the ambition of creating a new profile for Donegal. According to Chanel, the prestigious prize takes inspiration from a quote by its legendary founder, Coco Chanel, who says, "I want to be part of what's happening." So the first winner of the Chanel Métier d'Art Prize was an Irish designer, Roisin Pearce. Roisin studied textiles at NCAD in Dublin, connecting with Ireland's historical past in her work and focusing on zero waste in her production. Her soft sculptural designs use techniques of smocking, broderie, anglais, and floral scalloped crochet, and she was paired with the renowned Parisian milliner Maison Michel. So winning the competition, she embarked on a game-changing year-long collaboration with Maison Michel and an unbelievably valuable mentorship program. So, or as Karl Lagerfeld has said, quoting from Goethe, is that to make a better future, we develop elements from the past. So, the next kind of case study is the Woolmark Prize. So the remit of the International Woolmark Prize is to showcase the beauty and versatility of Australian merino wool. It's one of the most prestigious awards for rising fashion stars, with previous winners including Valentino, Karl Lagerfeld and Yves Saint Laurent. The competition brings together the most exciting talent from all over the world, connecting them with industry experts, leading retailers, and an unrivaled opportunity to make connections throughout the supply chain, all throughout showcasing the positive, sustainable attributes of working with Australian merino wool in design production. So while I'm not suggesting that there's even 1% of the mammoth Woolmark budget available in Donegal, we can still observe how the organisation has created a unique global platform for a very special breed of sheep and a low impact, biodegradable and versatile textile. So the winner in 2020, earlier this year, for the International Woolmark Prize was Wexford designer Richard Malone. Richard has a deep understanding of sustainability, and it has always been at the core of his business. In opposition to mass production and the traditional fashion system, he creates pieces in limited numbers. Richard takes inspiration from the workwear codes of his working class upbringing in Wexford, his grandmother Nellie, and the strong women who have been part of his life. He's a radical thinker and has a thoughtful and inspiring perspective on fashion. In his words, "Clothing is a product of the earth. Our fabrics are connected to farming, water, soil, weather, and environment." So Richard was awarded this unbelievable prize for his outstanding ability to showcase the beauty and versatility of merino wool. I think it would be very exciting to see what future talent, perhaps from a range of design disciplines, could do to promote the beauty of Donegal textiles. So education. Well, I'm delighted there's so many students here. But so connecting fashion business with education is a hugely important activity which can be done through a range of supports, including internships, scholarships, competition, presentations, discussion, and mentoring. Fashion design as a profession requires creative, technical, and business skills which necessitate industry experience to support course knowledge. There is an increasing discussion around the role of craft in fashion education. Living in a digital age where designers need to be multifaceted businesses, there's a growing emphasis on entrepreneurial skills, often at the expense of technical ones. This is also likely due to general cutbacks in education and equipment resources. But as noted by a Nordic academic in a publication called Recrafting Fashion, courses on the knowledge of fabrics and the history of dress have grown less prominent. Lack of this knowledge will subsequently have a negative effect on the knowledge of crafts and craftsmanship. Nottingham in England was once the centre of the world's lace industry. Nottingham Trent University connects with this rich heritage through their MA in Textiles Innovation Programme. Jane Childs, a student on the course, commented in an article in The Guardian earlier this year on how she uses her practice to challenge the way people engage with lace, but also to create opportunity to draw them into the history or the storytelling of this traditional craft. So with Donegal offering such a rich heritage in textiles and techniques, it would be great to see a specialist module in these artisanal skills offered in Donegal. A module of this nature could be supported with the knowledge and experience of the local communities and could have potential to be shared with other universities or even as a digital resource. It's also really important that undergraduate level fashion students are connected to and inspired by their local industry, that they can understand the multi-layered history of landscape, community, and nature which informs their local fashion scene. So here we are in 2020, and it's very apparent that we're on the cusp of change again. But I guess it's at these very big moments in history that we can see that by looking to the future, we can really create a wonderful history and a very rich past, and which we need to learn from and we need to celebrate. So yeah, but that's it for my presentation. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I really think that the strength of the Donegal industry is identified in the storytelling of rich Irish history, unrivaled passion, sustainable practice, world-class quality and craftsmanship. These attributes, I feel, can be best promoted by being outward-looking, collaborative, and having ambition for creating new engagement with the unique industry. That's it.